So now we are going to make a light chocolate sponge eggless version, and this is important to know because this sponge is the one that is going to take up a lot of sugar syrup when you're going to pair the sponge with whipping cream or any mousse base that we have to use and layer the cakes. So this has butter, and this is an equivalent to a fatless sponge, that is the egg version, but we are going to use an aerated drink like Coke, and that I have here, which needs to be opened and used right before we are going to add it into the batter and pour the batter finally into the cake pan and bake it into the oven right away. Now I have not kept it measured here because you cannot open and then keep it in a bowl and leave it out for long, because that frizz from the Coke is really very important to give the airiness for the sponge, and that is the secret and that is the key here. Okay, so now otherwise the recipe is quite straightforward and simple. So now I'm going to get a bigger bowl into which I'm going to sift the all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, cocoa powder. I'm going to sift this together. Mix this well, so cocoa powder and the all-purpose flour mixes well. I'm going to set this aside. Get the KitchenAid in. After bowl the KitchenAid, I'm going to fit the paddle attachment. You could do this using your handheld beater. And into the bowl, I'm going to add butter. Into that, I'm going to add the condensed milk. And I'm going to beat this, say, for 3 to 4 minutes until the butter and the condensed milk combines properly. So the butter and condensed milk is mixed up well. I'm just going to show from, because it's going to keep dripping. So that's how it looks at the stage after the butter and the condensed milk is mixed well. Okay, so now into this I'm going to add the flour mixture. So drop in the flour. And fold and then moisten up the flour. So once the batter, the dry mixes with the condensed milk butter, then now this will go back into the beater, and you're going to beat this pretty well, and then finally we have the Coke to get added in. So let's check how the batter looks. Okay, so it is light and the color has turned lighter and it's smooth as well, right? So now into this I need to add the Coke. Like I said, it's a measuring jar and the range is from 50 to up to 250. Okay, then I'm just going to put it down and then measure 200, and I'm going to keep this KitchenAid bowl in the stand mixer and have the beater running as I'm pouring. Now, if you're going to use a handheld beater, then add the Coke all at once and use your spatula to mix it up and then combine roughly, then put your beater again and beat well. Now I'm just going to open the Coke, add it in the measuring jar and wait until it reaches 200. Now before the frizz goes off, I'm going to beat, and as it beats I'm going to pour the Coke. So now the batter is ready. It is going to have a bit of curdle texture, doesn't matter, the sponge is going to be nice. So you can see that's the texture. I'll show you how it is in the bowl. I'm just scraping down, cleaning the beater blade. So I'm going to scrape till the bottom. Okay, so that's how the batter is going to look like. Taken in the frizz from the Coke, and I have two 6-inch pans prepared with butter paper on the bottom and then the sides, because this is a chocolate cake and it's been buttered and floured on top of that as well. And into this I'm going to divide the batter between both the pans. I'm just going to level the top. Okay, and I'm going to tap this. Okay, and so now this needs to go into the oven to get baked at 180 to 190 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes with a toothpick test at the end to check if the toothpick has come out clean. If not, you need to put it back into the oven in 3 minutes burst to keep checking on the toothpick. Once it comes out clean, just get it out and cool down, and I'm going to do the same and then get back to you to show how this cake is baked. So the cake is baked beautifully. You can see it is just springy back to the touch and really very nice. I'm just going to insert a toothpick and then it's coming out clean, and then you know the cake is baked well. And now this needs to rest and cool down on the wire rack for about 15 minutes, after which you need to cling wrap the cake while it is still warm and then freeze it as per the lesson that's following, and then we'll get back to know how we are going to use this sponge in layering the cakes.